From the word go, he actively just shoved his tongue into your mouth.
Oh yeah, my mouth is sopping wet.
No.
Hello friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we're diving into r/Tales of Neckbeards, yes indeed, or Neckbeard stories, but actually it comes from my personal subreddit, r/ReddX reads. It is a one-off from what I can tell, as usual. I haven't read too much into the story, just kind of scrolled to the end, saw that it mentioned that the friendship was over, and I'm like, okay, good. This will be a nice one to kind of clap in here while we're waiting for World War Weeb or Bourgeois Beard, or amping up for a little bit more unfortunate nookie, but we just did a greenie video like the day before yesterday with Toot Toot Beard, so I figure this will be a good time to shove this one in here. It is quite freshly posted, yes indeed, 21 hours ago. It'll probably be a day or two by the time you guys see it, because right now we're ahead of schedule, which is great and allows me to take a little vacay day should I need it, you know, mental health break. Speaking of mental health, wifey just came out. That's why the dogs went ape. God, I love that woman. And she's been enjoying her brand new car, the car that YouTube provided. So thank you guys all so much for making our wildest dreams come true. I probably don't say that enough, but I shall reward you with a video. For that is all I can really do for you right now. And I think that's my son outside honking the car horn. So let's hope we won't have too much of that during the video. So with all that said, let's get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some of this Neckbeard stories cringe. The Beard-Ridden Nightmare by Fireplace Fanatic. Subtitle, Does a Mullet Count? I'm not picky, bro. It's the beard on the inside, really. Pick up that t-shirt over at Teespring. Thank you so much. Also, subscribe to my podcast. God, we got so many plugs. I started this channel. I didn't expect it for it to get anywhere. And now I'm just plugging it endlessly. So again, if you are watching, thank you so very much. Okay, I finally got my shit sorted in my head so I can actually do this. Not tell the story, to be clear, because I've been able to do that part just fine, but to coherently post the story on the internet, because social anxiety makes me feel forever annoying and like nobody cares what I have to say. That's all demons in your head. I'm glad you posted it up. Welcome to the fold, my friend. But I've been biting the bullet and talking in communities on Discord, and I was encouraged to write some of my experiences here. Yes! The ReddX Discord community. Did I plug that yet? I think it is on that plug page. But yeah, we're always happy to see new faces. And of course, the ReddX mod team doing the most to keep it a safe and friendly place. Anyways, big ups to ReddX Reads Discord for making me realize that I have, in fact, come across several beards in my lifetime. Because of course, what beard could resist a quiet, nerdy, busty girl? Yes, that is called beard bait, I'm pretty sure. B-A-I-T, but also B-A-T-E, if you know what I'm getting at. Also, autism, as I would discover many years after most of these events took place. I'm currently teaching myself to allow myself to have limitations or be confused. So if at any point I constantly point out that I'm autistic, it's because I'm autistic. Yeah, I got that. And yeah, I need to point it out all the time in case I struggle with something so people don't yell at me. I don't think anybody's gonna jump to yelling. That's the social anxiety bubbling up again. And if they do yell at you, then good. They just let you know that that's not somebody you want to be around anyways. Anyhoodle, so far there are 3 beards that I have active memories of, not including Sausage Leg from Legbeard that haunts my memories. Oh, have you posted before? I guess I'm gonna have to favorite that one. We'll get to it, I promise. And they all managed to manipulate me into friendship, or sometimes worse. Uh-oh. I'm gonna say it right here and now. It never went anywhere non-consensual, thank God. But there were several instances where no simply meant change my mind. And they would usually manage to. Oh, God, I do hate that too. Coercion. All right, time for me to stop rambling, and we'll get on to the story. Plural. The cast. We got Cowboybeard. Yeehaw! Was like 3 years ahead of us at school. Managed to manipulate my best friend into hating me, and as would be discussed when we reconnected, hating herself as well. He liked to consider himself a real cowboy, and he had a mullet and everything. He wasn't fat per se, but definitely stocky, corn-fed boy, like most cowboys are, I guess. He was forever talking about cars to the point where I swear I could hear the loose gears inside of his head. Cowboys don't even drive cars. It's horses or tractors. Pick a lane. Alice is my best friend for the majority of school. Unfortunately, got manipulated pretty hardcore by Cowboybeard to the point where we actually fell apart for a few years. And Fireplace, that's ROP, certified neckbeard bait. I suppose we should start with the first instance chronologically, which would be in year 7 when I first met Alice. Alice and I were like two peas in a pod. Peas that couldn't talk even if it could save their lives, but yes, peas all the same. This would also be where we met Cowboybeard. An unfortunate happening, that. As I said, Cowboybeard was 2 or 3 years ahead of us in school. I don't really remember exactly how we met him, but we did, and he decided that we, two loner girls who were new to the school, were the perfect people to hang out with. Yeah, you always got to be wary of somebody who's dating downwardsly outside of their friend group, because it should be pretty obvious why nobody in the immediate vicinity is dating them themselves. You know what I mean? Not necessarily a red flag, but it does make my ears prick up just a little bit. So most of the early stuff is kind of vague, because that was like 10 years ago now, but from what I remember, he seemed nice enough. He talked about cars like non-stop, but he was also a deterrent for my bully, Sausage Leg. For more on her, see the Legbeard Who Haunts My Memories posts. We will, hold on. One post at a time. So, he was really only mildly annoying. He had some gentlemanly qualities. Like, he would insist on carrying our things and holding open doors for us, which for 12-year-old girls was pretty cool, to be honest. Yeah, there's ulterior motive there, though. When you're 12 years old, you're like, oh, isn't it cool that this 15-year-old wants to hang out with us? But once you get a little older, you're like, why the hell does that 15-year-old want to hang out with those 12-year-olds? Jesus. Then one day I found a note in my bag. It was your cliche, will you go out with me? Yes or no? Kind of note. I think there is a country song about that. Check yes or no.
Check yes or no.
God, George Strait is just a country mastermind. Which might seem sort of like an oxymoron. But anyways, it was that kind of note. To which I proceeded to have an absolute panic attack because, oh my god, someone was in my bag. And oh my god, did they take anything? And also, who the fuck goes through people's bags and leave notes? Beardos. We call that physical evidence, and it's a big no-no. It was at the end of the day, so Alice dragged my panicking ass to the bus bay, where we found Cowboybeard, already sitting in our usual spot and looking a bit nervous, maybe? We went over and sat down next to him. I'm calming down at this point, but was still like, seriously, who actually does this? How am I even supposed to know who it's from and who to give an answer to? At this, Cowboybeard visibly deflated. And that's when the penny dropped that, of course, it had been him that left that note. You're seriously just like leaving your backpack with this dude? Like, can I carry your stuff usually means it's still within my eyesight, you know? There were very few people that I would just give my stuff to and be like, okay, you're gonna take care of it, right? No, I'll take care of it. That's fine. I know I'll take care of it better than whoever else. But I wasn't 100% sure that it was Cowboybeard because I wasn't really sure about anything back then. So I straight up asked him, is this from you? He refused to look at me and just nodded. You're intimidated by a 12-year-old little girl. That is a hilarious mental picture. I didn't really understand what relationships were or meant, again, because I was like 12. But I knew that I didn't hate this guy. He was annoying, yeah, but he was also nicer to me than the majority of people in my life at that point. So I just stuttered out and, oh, okay, I guess so. And then we were a thing, apparently. At least as much of a thing as a 12 and 14-year-old could be. God, this is a train wreck already. My relationship with Cowboybeard was mostly uneventful. Either that, or it was so traumatizing that the only thing my brain will allow me to process is, it was a thing. It's hiding the truth from you for the greater good. But yeah, I'm 99% sure that nothing weird happened. Just typical awkward teenage stuff. Except for one part, which to be fair, I didn't really know any better, but Cowboybeard was a terrible kisser, which apparently never changed since that was confirmed by Alicia that he just never learned. Wow, he got both of these 12-year-olds? That's so sad. God damn it, dude. I do realize that 2 years isn't that much of an age gap, but there is a huge mental gap between 12 and 14, I'm pretty sure. This dude just absolute scumbag, total piece of shit, and he knows it. That's why he's not dating anybody that surrounds him. The dude's kisses were always wet. From the word go, he actively just shoved his tongue into your mouth.
Oh yeah, my mouth is sopping wet.
No.
I do that to my wife sometimes. She hates it. And I would later realize once he got Alice under his spell that it was so fucking loud. Like, imagine a little kid slurping up a melting ice cream cone. It sounded like that. And it felt like he was trying to lick the back of your throat. Oh, God. That is soul cringe. It's kind of like that in Japan. Japanese girls kiss really loud. It's a cultural thing. Like, the louder you eat something, the more you're enjoying it. So it can be admittedly like a little bit erotic, you know, but not when you have this 14-year-old tongue raping preteens out here. Like, God damn it, dude. Oh, that affects me deeply. But apart from that, there was really nothing of note during mine and Cowboybeard's relationship. No, all that would start after we broke up, and he moved on to Alice, probably because he sensed that she was far more desperate. It wasn't part of some grand scheme, he's just taking whoever will have him. It was only a few months after we broke up that he started going after Alice, as she always had low self-esteem, so of course a boy being nice to her, and then telling her that he loved her was basically all it took for his spell to settle into her mind. Ah yes, it is a simple spell, but quite unbreakable.
It's a simple spell, but quite unbreakable.
They end up dating on and off for 7 years. Jesus, unbreakable indeed. Over which time I grew less and less tolerant of all the shit that I was now seeing. See, I was brought up with lines like, "Destroy the patriarchy!" coming from both of my parents, so doing something just because a guy wants you to was definitely not on my agenda. Unfortunately, they forgot the whole hold your ground side of that, so if you reason something to me, seemingly no matter the mental gymnastics, you could eventually bring me around. I'm kinda not surprised by that. People who have, like, beliefs that are this extreme could be talked over into believing something else relatively easily. You know what I mean? So when I started hearing about Alice doing stuff, and the answer to why was a shrug, and he wanted it, and I wanted to make him happy, I knew that that was the patriarchy. That mom and dad kept warning me about. God, I can't breathe. Oh, Jesus Christ. There you go, OP. Smash Cowboybeard and you'll smash the whole patriarchy wide open. Holy God. That cracks me up. These suspicions were only confirmed time and time again as I went from one awkward teenage relationship to the next, partially because some of them lasted like a week, as most teenage quote-unquote relationships tend to do. You're just getting it figured out, you know? And anytime we would double date at the movies or whatever, he would say the same thing about every one of them. It was essentially an "I approve," but always put slightly differently, like "keep a hold of this one," or "I like him." Literally, every single fucking time. And you want to know who asked? Fucking no one! Yeah, I guess it is pretty self-absorbed to think that anybody gives a shit about your opinion on someone else's relationship. But it's because beards is beards, not because patriarchy. My response to this was always similar too, along the lines of, yeah, that's nice, but it's my choice, or I'm sorry, is this your relationship? Which usually made him sulk for the rest of whatever we were doing. Sounds like a victory to me. He would also always comment on my body. I'm short and curvy. I was a C-cup chest when I was 10, serious neckbeard bait, like I said, so of course every single time he saw me, he had to talk about how short I was or how I was showing everything. Because trying to find teenager clothes for an adult is totally easy. There were even times where, being the strong, independent woman I was, I wouldn't ask for help reaching something if I felt that I could jump to it. To which I was always promptly told to stop. I would look at him annoyed and confused and tell him to go fuck his giant ass. And then Alice would explain that he's a guy and he doesn't want to feel unfaithful, and when you jump, your chest bounces heaps because you're so big. To which my response was then, don't look at me. How old are they at this point? What the hell's going on here? This whole thing culminated into a fabulous explosion before dying out, finally, at my 21st birthday party. Now, the drinking age in Australia is 18, so it wasn't the first time that I drank, but it was the first time that I drank. We rented out a hall, and it was a masquerade ball theme. I had signature drinks named after me and everything, and it was gonna be awesome. So, of course, I had to taste test my signature drink many times. So I was already a little tipsy when people started arriving. Alice, being the kind of a mum friend, ushered me over to a table and got me some food. My boyfriend at the time, now fiance, sat with me and fed me some water, which I didn't want, but I took it anyways. Bro, water is the best cure for a hangover. Go 1 for 1. 1 beer or drink or whatever, signature drink named after you, which also seems kind of like an ego trip, by the way. And then you drink a glass of water. That's the way you do it. Then you'll never be hungover. It's magic. And my boyfriend and Cowboybeard started talking about work or something. I don't remember heaps of the conversation, but I do remember at one point, Cowboybeard turned to me and literally said, "I approve of this one. You should keep him." Yeah, you can hit him. You got my permission. I didn't want Cowboybeard there in the first place. I only agreed because Alice said she wouldn't come without him. So there I was, drunk, feeling powerful, since this was all for me, and 10,000% done with his shit, so I went off. Who the fuck do you think you are? You can go fuck yourself. I don't need your goddamn approval. In fact, your approval is the least important thing to me ever. To me, this was a completely justified rant. I didn't shout or anything, just a lopsided glare and a snarl. To Alice, however, this was akin to murdering their firstborn. She was deep under his control at that point. He had been manipulating her for 5 years now, and I didn't really know the extent. So I was shocked and hurt when we ended up getting into a fight about it a week later that all but ended the friendship. Thankfully, we've since reconnected. We're both in much better places now, both relationship-wise and mental health-wise. we would probably be closer, but virus, yay! And work, yay! Until next time, dailies and mental gen. Mental gen.
Mental gen?
Dude is definitely a creeper, chasing after these little girls and whatnot. Bad kisser. I don't know if we could check a beard box for that one. But he definitely has some delusions of grandeur, like bestowing his approval upon your current relationship. Like, what the hell? I hate stuff like that. What are you, my fucking dad? I don't care what you think about it. But it does seem like it was relatively painless, you know, you put him in his place. It did lead to a fight with your friend, which sucks, but eventually she realized, got out from under his spell, and I guess all's well that ends well. Even for Cowboybeard, I hope that he's in a better place at this point. 14 is young, you know, and while this did go on until he was 21, I mean, there's still time to turn it around, you know? Not a lot of time, but I truly hope that he does. He doesn't seem like an absolutely horrible beard, just kind of derpy and funny and thinks too much of himself. The description of the kissing, however, I don't think will ever leave my mind, so thanks for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, I hope you'll like, comment, and or subscribe. Maybe share the episode around. It's a one-off. It's good for sharing. We've also got links in the description. Playlists, podcasts, plugs. You know what it do. Click around down there. Find something that interests you. I would appreciate that. We've also got my social medias. Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Yes, I'm everywhere, including Patreon. Oh, my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. I would like to thank them very much, as I do every episode. So thank you.
Robert Waits, Baron Von Waggy Pants, Jarhead Jerry, Oorah, Logan Wolf, TSM Kirby, Captain Clown Jerry, Hong Kong, Aaron W, Twisted Child, Cinema Susie, Danny, Jerry Nerdnick, For All Lang Sign, Fire Drake, Giggle Jerry, Hee Hee, Ayuri, the most different Jerry spelling. I think that's accurate. Levison loves Jerry, so does ReddX, Mr. Anime Manga Fan, Rogue, Silent Revolver, Magdalene Marshall Thornrose, the OG, Jerry, Becca, Jerry Kitsune, Little Lone Wolf, Vanilla Mel, Satori, 211 Jerry, The Return of Jerry, praise be his name, Althea Blue, Anunnaki, Arnold's Bonafide Marble Jerry, Asian Persuasion Jerry, yeah, Assassin Pug Jerry, Bang Bang, Atheist Jerry, he's so euphoric, Grizzly, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, watch out for that guy, Bitch Gremlin, Blade the Hero, Blameless Fish, Blip Bloop Jerry, Camille Sarah, Commander J Tank, Deltaroon Jerry, Dennis Dayton, Dinosaur Nightlight, Disposable Waifu, Aaron Lennox, Frozen Nova Studios, Gypsy, Hadrian BR, Heathcliff, Itchy Nuts, just scratching bro, a pimp named J Crisp, JM Coon, Jennifer Schaefer, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry the Small Jerry than the other Jerrys, Jerry the Outlaw Mother Trucker, Hong Kong, Johnny Hero, Jolly Black Jerry, Simbufa, cause if your boofing is free, tell it to the jury, K Jerry W, Kajow, Crewhee, Lady Jerry, Next Tom, yeah, the winner is Jerry, as we all knew it would be, Legend Jerry, Miss Monday, Lord Lionel, Jackass Rule, Melgar the Destroyer, Mint Jerry Chip, the freshest of the Jerrys, my boy now one Nick, Natari, Nightmare Jerry, Origami Steve Jerry, congrats on the marriage, I think I got it backwards, that's okay, Panda Prince Jerry, Bamboo, Phantom of the Pies, Jerry Kids and Jerry Beth, Rose Jerry Miller, TSM Kirby, Sarita the Lolita, Serrated Ash, SSJ Red Ramtide X, the fusion dance version of you know who, Commander of the Jerry Army, it's getting a little out of hand. That's Mr. J. Staples, a.k.a. Jerry Yeet. Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Boomstick. Brilliant Tamago, Tapioca Boogaloo. Tato Ferret, Teddy the Police. Tenth Monster, the One True Fusky. Tom, but it's the Jerry on the inside. Oh, God. That's a good one. Treeberg, the Jerry Monologues. Wilmax, Comrade Mooney. Kira, you're a wizard, Jerry. Redwind, Goose Eyes Hawk, Naga Viper, Saints Blessing, John Indoors, a normal Jerry. Patreon doesn't allow exclamation marks in the name. Such a day, exclamation mark. What? Hunter of Jerry's, Devourer of all things tasty, it is Tom, Admiral T-Tank, Alunia, Amara, Atomic Jerryzilla, AZ, Banish Knight, Barbushkas, Irradiated Jam, Broken Spine, Horseradish, the original different Jerry, Cake Jerry, California Jerry Girl, yeah, Canadian Lynx, Carrot Jerry, God of Veggies, Best for your eyes, Cha-cha-cha-chia, Jerry, Chris Mesca, Cinnamon Buddy Dog, Corporal Admiral Lieutenant, Furry Warrior, Woo Jerry, Crib Titties, Cuban Jerry, the Fawn Jerry, the Foxiest Jerry to ever Jerry, Electrical Fennec, Ever-Changing Jerry and Tom versus Beer Apocalypse, Ghost of Alpha HMT Mayor, Holy Berry Jerry, Hydra Jerry, Irish Jerry, Jerry from State Farm still gets me. Jerry was a race car driver. Jerry Alder. Jerry Bean, Yum, Jerry Roxas, yay, Jerry role-playing game, Judge, Jerry, and Executioner. King Tom, Smasher of Jerry Zillas, Kittykin, Crafty Kitty Cat, Life of a Guardian, Little Ann Woods, maybe next time, Midnight Sun, Milkfed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Not Invisible Angel, I see you, One Leg Jerry, Organic Cam, Princess Rosalie Jerry, congrats on the marriage, Ghosty, Raptor out, she's my Jerry Pie, Silurian King, Snary, that's Snom Jerry, Spoony the Rogue, Steampunk Ellie, that one green Jerry, I remember, the Necro Jerry Con, the original Jerry, not, the most different Jerry, maybe, to Infinite Jerry, and beyond! Unjerry, Tom promised Jerry swears, oh no bad Jerry, Tom be a good boy, don't swear, it's just a fact, it's holy science, go look it up, and by it I mean another ReddX video, that's probably what it says at the end, I don't know for sure, and also, thank you to my $1 patrons, beautiful, beautiful, blowing up the Patreon.
Thank you guys so much for supporting on the Patreon. I am eternally grateful, as I said at the beginning of the episode, but really I can't thank you guys enough for making all of my dreams come true. I do hope some other people will consider joining up on the Patreon, but if you can't do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you'll come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like, watch some more ReddX videos. That'd be cool. Always remember that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one, friends. And until then, bye-bye.